Cool. We are live. Let me just double check the stream here. Sacktown video. So make sure it's good. Cool. Yeah, we are live. This is awesome. How a video advertising agency onboards new clients. All right. Welcome everyone. There's probably no one watching. That's totally fine. But I really just wanted to make this live stream, I guess, to talk a little bit about how we onboard new clients and what that sort of looks like, and the most important form that we use when it comes to helping our clients. So that being said, yeah, this is pretty much the first time I'm going live. So hopefully everything is working well. You guys can see me, you guys can hear me. I'm going to be sharing my screen here in a bit. But yeah, let me see if there's anyone else that could join me here too, because I want to make sure that everything looks good. But I think it's fine. Okay, let's jump into it. Let's dive deeper into it. So let me share my screen right there. Still see me? Cool. Awesome. So this is a client avatar form, and as you can see here, we want our clients to fill this out before the onboarding call, which is just like a kickoff call, and just so we can better understand the business as well as the business goals. And like I said in the top, I mean, really the main reason why we have this client avatar form is so that we can um, create scripts for our clients, right? And make sure that the scripts are not only targeting the right people, but they're also offering the right things. And so helping us by filling out this form is extremely vital, right? So let's dive deeper. Before we dive deeper into it, I just want to talk a little bit about the basics, right? So the first thing is going to be the business basics, the target audience, the current situation, market competition, my client's process, as well as vision and goals. And that's pretty much it, right? So to start, obviously, we need to know what the niche is. What is the industry? Are they a roofer, HVAC company, plumber, junk removal? We need to know your industry that you're in specifically. From there, what specific products or services do you offer, right? So for example, if you're a junk removal, yes, you have, you'll come to the person's house, and a residential house, and you'll get their junk. But sometimes also there's other services you offer. Maybe there's moving services, something like that. So I want to know exactly what it is specifically you offer, the different products that you serve or that you sell, and the services you offer. What is also the main offer, right? What do you want us to promote the most? Is there an offer that you want us to promote? Maybe it's maybe if, like, for example, for HVAC, there's a lot of things that HVAC companies could do. It could be tune up, but then maybe the main offer is replacement, right? So what is that main offer? What are the typical price points for your products or services? Now, this could be very difficult, right? Because sometimes my clients, it's all over the place, right? But to have like an average or a ballpark is really good for us to know. So that way we could also even look at margins, right? Look at profit margins, etc. But this is good to know. Number 5, on average, what is the lifetime value of one of your clients, one of your customers? Again, this is really important to know. For example, like if you're a pool service company, right? So for pool service, monthly fees could be anywhere from $100 to $200, right, around that range. It's very low. But the thing is, the LTV could be, 2 years, sometimes even up to 10 years. So that lifetime value is so high. So for example, if we just look at the numbers, right? Simple math. So if you take 150, right, because that's a ballpark of a monthly maintenance for a swimming pool maintenance, and then you just multiply that by 24, that's $3,600, right? So that's their LTV is 3,600. So again, this is really good to know, especially when we're looking at results. And they're, maybe they only collected, they spent, I don't know, let's say they spent $1,000, but they only collected 2 clients, right? Which is going to be $300. So most people think like, oh, I spent $1,000, but I only got $300 back. Yeah, that's true, but you have to look at it LTV, lifetime value, right? So yeah, you spent $1,000, but you made up to $4,000 back if you factor in LTV, right? So that's again just something we need to talk about and something we need to remember when it comes to LTV. Moving down here, we have the target audience. Who is your ideal client, your ideal customer? And this can be really drilled down to age, profession, interest, and also location. That's a big one too. A lot of my ads, I say, hey, attention, Sacramento homeowners, or if you're in the Folsom area, right? So things like that to understand their ideal customer. We want to know that, so that way in the beginning we could call them out. And in another video, I'm going to show you how I script my ads. But this is so important, the target audience, right? Who are they? What do they do? What do they like? Is it a man? Is it a woman? What's typically the age? Are they homeowners? We want to know what is their client avatar, their ideal client. Number 7, how would you describe what you do or what you sell to a 6th grader who has never heard of you? This is a really interesting exercise that I like to do with my clients, because it allows them to really dumb down their service, so that way it makes it easier for other people to understand what it is that they do. And this is important because for any advertising and marketing, you really want to dumb down you really want to dumb down everything to a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade reading level. So that's and I use ChatGPT to do that as well. But that is one thing that I want to make sure people do is, describe your business, describe what you do, your service that you provide, as if I'm a kid, So that's a really fun exercise. Number 8 is, what pain or problem does your offer solve for your customers, right? So this is going to be big, especially when it comes to, almost like the language that they use. When people are looking for a service, they're trying to solve a problem. And so they have certain phrases, certain words that they use oftentimes. And so this is really good for us to know. So that way, again, when we create the ads and we're creating a campaign, we could look at it at different angles, and we could use certain phrases that people use in those angles, in those ad campaigns. Number 9, what other solutions are your clients currently using, and how effective are they? This is really good too to pre-handle any other objections, right? For example, it's like, oh, I need a roofer, but right now I'm fixing my roof myself. Okay, so that's not good. And again, like, it's fine to fix your roof yourself if you know what you're doing, but that's typically one of the reasons why you hire a professional, a licensed roofer, and so that way they could take that problem away, rather than you doing it and spending the time and quite possibly more money fixing it yourself. So number 9, what other solutions are your customers currently using, and how effective are they? Super important that we get that answer. Number 10. Now we're moving into current situation. How are you currently getting clients? What's worked best so far? Now, typically, I already know the answer to this, but it's good to just remember what that is. Now, a lot of times, for many service businesses, it's going to be word of mouth, right? It's just like, oh, I've been, relying on referrals, word of mouth. And yeah, referrals and word of mouth work until it doesn't, right? So once it doesn't work, that's when the pipeline, the pipe sort of dries out. And so I want to know what their current situation is, what's been working, so that way we have an understanding of sort of where their current situation is at and where they're at. How many clients do they currently have? This is also really good to know, just to see the current workload they have. On average, how many clients do they get per month? I know this is going to be a ballpark. It's going to fluctuate heavily depending on lead flow, the season, things like that. Next, market and competition, right? Who are your top competitors? It's always good to know who your competitors are. And so most businesses, they should know. And this is really helpful too, because I like to look at sort of what is the competition doing. So what I'll do is I look at the ad library to see what other competitors are doing when it comes to Meta. What are they doing on the ad library? It's a really helpful tool to see what people are doing in the area. How is your product service unique or better compared to your competition? This can be sometimes a difficult question to answer, because a lot of times there's not much. A lot of times there's not much. Now, typically what I like to tell people is that, the way you differentiate yourself is really through 3 different things. Number 1 is you're the cheapest, right? You're the most affordable. Number 2 is you're the fastest, right? Or number 3 is, number 2 is speed, right? The fastest. Or number 3 would be quality, right? You have the best quality. So it's typically one of those 3, or all 3 of those is the differentiating factor. And this is really good too to know that, because then once we know if it's speed, quality, or price, then the offer can sort of revolve around 1, 2, or maybe all 3 of those. Okay. And then the last one is briefly describe your sales process. This is really important to know because it's not enough to just get leads. You have to be able to convert these leads. And so in the past, I would just send my clients leads and they didn't know what to do with them. And so having an understanding on my end, what happens once that lead comes in is extremely important because in Sacktown Video and most agencies, I hope, we don't just send you leads, right? We want to make sure that we're following up with these leads and we're calling them, we're texting them, emailing them, whatever we do, we have to make sure we're reaching out to them. And the reason why, again, simply because they put in their information, these prospects, these leads, we didn't force them to do it, right? They saw the ad and they put in their information, and so we want to know what is a client's sales process once that lead comes in, right? Number 16, walk us through how your service is fulfilled step by step and how long it usually takes. Again, this is going to be different for each business, but for the most part, I would just simply want to know what is your standardized operating procedure when it comes to fulfillment. That may look different depending on the product or the service that you sell, but for the most part, it doesn't have to be like a long, drawn out, answer. But for the most part, I'm sure that most people have like a step-by-step process. Number 17, do you use any unique strategy, system, or process to achieve results for your clients? If so, how does it work? Again, this is going to be different for each one. I'm going to go through an example here in a bit of a client that filled this out, and we could talk more about that. But again, it's going to be different for each client, each business. And then last one, number 18, which goes into the vision and goals. What would be the best case scenario outcome of working together? Now, I like this because it really helps determine sort of what the results are going to be. And I'm sorry, not determine. I like this because it really determines the expectations that we have on each other. Obviously, the best case scenario is that they make more money, right? And then for me, the best case scenario is that they not only make more money, but they also see results and continue to work with me as well as refer other people. But for them, I want to know what is the best case scenario outcome, and everything I do is to make sure that we achieve that best case scenario outcome when it comes to working together. So the next thing I'm going to go through is just an example of a client that filled this out. Cool. So this is for an HVAC client that I had. So what industry? Obviously, it's going to be HVAC or attic insulation. What specific products do you offer? System replacement, system upgrades, tune-ups, system conversions from gas to heat, or gas heat to electric, heat pump, and leading the way for dual fuel high efficiency systems. Right, so pretty straightforward, especially when it comes to HVAC. What is the main offer? So he talked about no charge estimates, right? So free estimates, diagnostics, second opinions. I think opinions is spelled wrong, but that's fine. 24 months, 0% interest, or systems as low as $100 a month, right? So that's cool. Now, again, the thing with these though is that like most people offer this, right? Like a lot of people offer this. So I have been trying to think of different offers that we can have, but like this is good that the client that I have here is that they're also thinking about different offers, and we'll talk more about that when we do our onboarding and pre-production. But what are the typical price points? Yep, that's about right. It's going to be around the 10 to 15 or $8 to $20,000 on average. What is the lifetime value? And I think $100,000 average lifetime is actually true for sure, especially when it comes to HVAC. Target audience, professional, any professionals 25 and up. Obviously homeowners, right? That would be good. Anyone that's trying to do home improvement, upgrade to the latest technology. They want something new. They want to go green, so that's good. How would you describe what you do? and to a sixth grader, it's not a plug-in appliance. It's like a refrigerator. This is a serious piece of equipment. It takes gas from outside, lights it on fire, and expels the poisonous gas. And this leaves behind hot metal that you blow air across, and the air comes out warm. So yeah, obviously I want to dive a little bit deeper into that, and I do with one of my clients. But for the most part, yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's really just sort of dumbing it down for people that don't know, what it is that you do. So number 8, what pain or problem does your offer solve for your clients? Obviously comfort, right? They're in discomfort and they have high energy bills. Now I'm going to talk to my client about this, and I already have, specifically when it comes to the type of phrasing and the words that people use. But that's really what the main thing is with number 8, is just trying to understand what is the phrasing, what is the language that people use when they're talking about their pain and their problem. And we literally use that pain or that language in the ads, right? Number 9, what other solutions are your customers currently using and how effective are they? So for them, it's going to be, indoor air quality and insulation add-ons. So really, indoor air quality insulation add-ons. Not really much more to add on there, no pun intended, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Number 10, how are you currently getting new clients? So this client of mine was getting customers just from YouTube ads, right, and word of mouth. So really awesome. How many clients do they currently have? They have about 60, and on average, they're getting around 12 to 15 new clients per month. So steady growth right there, steady growth. What are the top competitors? All HVAC companies. And it's true, right? I wouldn't say it's saturated, but there's a lot of competition. And I actually look at competition as a good thing because that means that there's money there to be made. You just have to sort of separate yourself, right? And you have to offer something that's going to be different from all the other people. But it's true. It's all HVAC companies, just like me, right? My competition is all other video advertising agencies in the area, right? Not just in California, in Folsom, Sacramento area, but also across the United States. So how is your product service unique or better compared to your competition? They offer a default 10-year warranty, no charge order guarantee, and we do work with people who admire and compliment 20 plus years down the road. Yeah. So, and then moving forward, your process. So what they do is they identify problems, identify the level of education around the product. They do a physical walk around, right? Estimate, they take measurements, and they educate their clients or their prospects on 3 types of systems that they would recommend for their needs. And they would also provide some funding if they need, and then hopefully close the deal. Cool. It's pretty straightforward, right? Number 16, step by step for fulfillment. I'll let you read that, but that's pretty straightforward. And then the unique strategy. Sounds like they really harp on educating, and that's big. I think education is big too. The thing with education is that it takes a long time to convert potentially, so that's the only thing. But this is good. And then obviously, the best case scenario, working with me in my business, start the base of a long-lasting relationship and successfully create working ads and company awareness. So really good. I think this is a great form that they filled out. Now, obviously, that's step 1 is to fill this out, and it usually takes clients maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes to fill this out. It should all be pretty self-explanatory. But like I said, what we do is we have a conversation about this, and then from that conversation, we're able to create ads and a script, so that way we could go ahead and film the client. And so in the next video, the next live stream, I'm going to dive deeper into what that onboarding call looks like, and then also if we have time, I'll touch a little bit on some of the prompts that I use for Poppy AI, which is the AI that I use when it comes to scripting and pretty much all AI really. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. Thanks for watching this with me, or for watching this with me, for joining me on this live stream. It's my first one, so hopefully it's okay. But like I said, my name is Dan DeLeon from Sacktown Video. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'm happy to help. All right, bye.